bizarre, isn't it? It's like his life.
Yeah, well, it is a little bit. This is a family like of all these sort of Irish travellers that had been like put onto council estates, and I don't think they wanted to be there because they were in a terrible mood.
I'd change their names if I was you.
Huh?
I'd change their names.
Yeah. Dave!
King of the Gypsies.
King of the Gypsies. Prince of the Diddycoys. Right? They come in the pub and it's like, you know, like, it goes, oh, we'll reduce this place to Matchwood. Right? And then there's the one time, this guy, right, his brother was this bloke had just come out of prison, right? And he was one of this family. Sat in the pub all day and I'd give him free drinks because, like, you had to because they were violent. And, like, these particular group of people. Right? And, like, at the end of the day, right, he followed me, I went to the lavvy, he followed me in there, right? And all day he's been really hard and, like, sort of, like, aggressive, sort of alpha male. Followed me into the toilet and goes, "You're quite good looking, you're a good looking lad." I was, oh, that's very flattering. I didn't know what to say. He goes,
"But you stink of mouse urine."
He goes, "I'd like to kiss you." I goes, "Oh no, I'm not that sort of girl." I mean, I'm all nervous about it, right? And then I sort of like bustled my way out of the lavvy, scared, and then he goes to me, right, okay, come back over to the bar. I goes, "Come on, mate." He goes, "Oh, no, you've hurt my feelings." He goes, "You've hurt my feelings." He goes, "You've got 48 hours to get out of Kentish Town." 48 hours?
To get out of Kentish Town.
To get out of Kentish Town? Well, you know, I could get a bus, I've probably got in 20 minutes. That's too much time, if anything.
That's terrifying.
I was ever so scared, I thought they're going to kill me, these people, but they didn't. They said, they did say, "My brother's got a shooter, we're going to kill you." Oh, no.
He turned into a farmer there.
I gotta kill you.
It became less frightening. I thought, surely you're going to have to concentrate on leaving one field fallow for a year. You ain't got time to muck about killing me.
That's really scary.
Yeah, it was scary. Let's listen to more stories now. We've got some good. Keep sending us texts if you like, 64046. We'll have a right laugh. We've got Sonic Enigma coming up. Master Sue is coming on the show. Pinch my skin! Pinch my skin! He's our Tai Chi teacher. We had a Tai Chi lesson with him, me, Matt and Trev. We had an experience together. He's a brilliant Tai Chi teacher. But one can only say he is a braggart and a narcissist using Tai Chi to pull birds and kick blokes' heads in boozers.
This is Six Music.
What's up, Trevor? Why are you so confused?
I got lost in a reverie.
Don't ever get lost in reveries. That's what William Blakey used to do. "Here, I'll get you, butler. There's angels on the rye."
That was funny.
Good, wasn't it?
It's nice. I like that. No one's ever done that before.
Of course, they ain't used Blakey from On the Buses to describe William Blake.
I think I've been genuine.
Tiger.
It's a good idea. That could be a whole routine.
Tiger.
I think that should be your next Edinburgh show.
What,
you should do William Blake poems as
Blakey from On the Buses.
Yeah.
I'll give it a whirl,
It
Trev.
can run and run.
Trevor, you'll destroy my career. It probably could only last 5 minutes at most. This is a letter that's been written down a computer from Sally. She goes, "William Blake may not have been a drug addict as a child, but he was schizophrenic. My mentalism would be more interesting if I saw angels. You broke the news. You broke the news." Lovely day-to-day reference. Trevor, you've broke the news.
Good.
Trevor, Matt and Russell, says Lorna. "I lived in a tenement
in the right order.
Actually, yeah. What the heck, Lorna? What's wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with
Why have you
her.
put Trevor first?
Well, have a think
Lorna,
about
you
it.
better write another email addressed to the lovely Russell, the delightful Matt, and that goon they have with them, who's even now caked in his own dried spittle that you could break away like Superman's crystal computer machine." Well, anyway, Lorna, go. "I lived in a tenement in Glasgow with a downstairs neighbour who was a junkie Ned, who blasted techno music all the time. One time we had a party and he came upstairs drunk, shouting and screaming and punched me. So my boyfriend jumped on him and threw him down the stairs. His girlfriend said to me as way of explanation for his violence, 'He's getting married in the morning.'" If he can't punch women now, when can he? If you can't, on the eve of your wedding, smack women square in the jaw, what kind of society are we living in? Another time, we came home to find a loaf of bread sitting on the doorstep. We thought it was some threatening message, like a horse's head in the bed, but had never heard of a loaf of bread being used for such a thing. It was sinister, says Lorna. What a lovely time in her life that must have been. Matthew, have you got any anecdotes about places you've lived? Oh, yeah, why don't you ponder your
I'm just looking at my little list of things.
You've got a little list of things, hasn't he? Any professional these days? Matt Morgan's got a list of things. I'll just tell you some other things. Go on.
My time capsule.
Oh, Tessa, he had a time capsule.
I had a time capsule.
Didn't live in it, Trev. Otherwise you wouldn't be here now, would
you made you buried it in the garden?
Me and my little brother.
Yeah.
When I think I was about 12, 13, and he was 4 years younger
Every
than me.
time you tell this story, you've aged a couple of years.
Huh?
Every time you tell this story, you've aged a couple of years. Last time you told me you was
It was
10
2
and you
years
were
ago
6.
when he told you last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I still would say...
Hello?
Turn your phone off, eat some fudge.
Look at that bark.
Who was that?
Barks on the phone.
Yeah. What do you want? You want me to be in the old days? Clear it off, you bloody granddad. So, go on, Matthew. Time capsule.
yeah,
We're living in a time capsule. Barks on a telephone.
Me and my little brother said, oh, yeah, let's put a time capsule in the garden, then we'll draw a map where it is, and then we'll dig it up in a few years' time.
Good
so
idea.
we both wrote a letter to our future selves.
What was it like, the letter?
I don't know, I didn't read his, but mine was sort of...
What were you saying to yourself?
I think it was... I don't know.
You were going, well, when you grown up, probably we've got big dinkle now. I don't know help it. Can you go to the toilet without crying yet? Is that crow still in the wall?
Yeah, stuff like that, really.
Like that. Matt had a crow living in his wall. He liked.
You had a mouse living in your house, shut up.
Yeah.
Well, at least my mouse was named after a pop star. What was that crow called?
Mr. Scratchy.
Mr. Scratchy. You
wasn't-
scared, Matt?
Listen to my story.
Okay, go on then.
And so we buried this thing, and we drew a little map to where it was.
But what was in it?
Well, it was like, there was a letter to each to our future selves.
selves.
Yeah.
There was some. Like, it was a bit of a newspaper from that day. There was, I think, some sort of bit of food, which I
Bit of food?
I
Some
don't know.
fudge.
I can't remember. But it's things that I thought, oh, that'd be good to see what happens to that in
50 years' time. We'll come back here, we'll be heroes.
And then we went inside, we were all happy about it. And then my mum said, have you signed Grandad's birthday card? And we said, I don't know, where is it? And she said, it was on the table when you were doing that stupid time capsule. It turned out we couldn't find his birthday card. So my mum goes, get outside and dig it up.
Mate, dig up the time capsule. It's only been down there 5 minutes. We're still a little bit excited.
To dig it up?
Sort of
Oh,
think,
it's good, 'cause you
I
actually-
wonder what's changed. Hey, to think back in those days, we ate apples. Crazy times, though, yeah?
We dug it up. Grandad's birthday card wasn't in there. And then we just went, didn't bury it.
Because you just lost the magic.
We lost the magic.
We'll make a time capsule. That's free. Trevor, don't beat the desk like that.
No,
Certainly
because
not with that appendage.
Imagine if you did, like, you, for one, would want to dig it up every day. It's like when
Why?
me and my sister found a dead bird. My mum said, put it in a margarine tub and put it in
Yeah.
the bin. And then
You kept going
about
back and
2
looking
days
at it.
later, we went back. We were little kids. We were about 3 and 5. And we went over and went, let's look at that bird. And we opened it up. And it was alive with maggots. And it shattered our illusions.
We used to do that as well.
What
at
did
school.
you used to do at
I
school,
remember
Trevor?
one of my earliest memories of being at school was to bury
That's the second time he's used that phrase today. Oh, one of my earliest memories. There's a
in my
plumber's list.
memoirs on page 9.
If you look at my memoirs, the pages that aren't gummed together with my excuse for abuse, you'll read that these things happened to me at school. That's right, Trev. Look over like you're all disappointed with me. But what you should be disappointed with is your silly fat self.
little birds used to die and fall into the playground, and we
Did
would
they
bury them.
die, Trevor? Or were they poisoned?
Used to die and fall into the plate. What, from the
Trevor, that's
sky?
from Danny the Champion of the World. That's a Roald Dahl book.
They fell. They fell out of the nest that
There
were
was a
underneath the eaves
cunt.
Oh, okay.
of the thing, and
Underneath the eaves.
underneath the eaves, and then we'd bury them, and then we'd dig them up a few days later and have
See
a
what
look.
happened to them.
See what
Kids
happened
do. Like, you'll cry over a gerbil that's died and bury it in the garden. Then about 2 days later, you'll think, let's see what's happened to that and dig it up.
Yeah, it's good when you're a child to think like that. I had a newt, and that newt then died because I think someone maybe stood on him.
Where did it live? Up your pants?
Why? No, because they need amphibious conditions. They lived in,
Exactly.
he lived in a little... But listen, there's no bleeding aqua.
In your rubber knickers.
That my rubber panty poo pots. There's a bit of marshland over there. No, he lived in a nice tank. And like, I'll say tank.
to. An armoured
Go
car.
on, someone. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Trevor.
Trevor's got up on his chair after
Trevor, why are
that.
you up on his... Why are you perched there?
I don't know.
Sit down, Trevor.
I've got a little bit of
Oh,
cramp.
we've got a surprise for old Trev.
Trevor, oh yeah, we know we're talking about homes and everything like that.
Have you bought me?
We've got you a house.
We've got you a little house, Trev. Also, we've got this book that me and Trev contributed to. It's called That Which Is Not Said, a collection of comedians' poetry, right?
We're going to give away copies as
Drawing
prizes.
by David Shrigley on the front. He's brilliant, that bloke, isn't he? That
Yeah,
David Shrigley.
and
He's
there's some
well funny.
excellent poems by Tim
Poem
Key.
by me, poem by Cocky Trevor Locke, Simon Day, Simon Munnery, Paul Footy, Phil Nicol. Loads of good poems by comedians. And I think all the money goes to the homeless, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
They might as well just have spent the money they spent on binding these books on heroin,
Yeah.
thrown it out of a window.
Harry Hill,
Harry Hill's contributed
Stuart
something.
Lee.
Stuart Lee. Good, alright, that's just a list of names.
good.
Anyway, right, you could, like, this is about homeless people, so Trevor, we thought, like, you know, as you've contributed to this, you should benefit, so why don't you become homeless and live in a box? Why don't you? So, anyway, so for the rest of the show, Trev, you'll be inside
You're
a box.
going to be in a box like a rodent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's box you up.
Will
Like a rodent or a homeless person.
Oh dear, that's how it
Will there be
started.
torn up newspaper for me?
Of course they will. When you do
You
your
can do what
shopping,
you like in
do
there,
them in
mate.
one corner.
Where is it?
Where is
We'll
it?
get
then?
your box during. Right, we'll listen to Bowie, and then after that, Trevor's going to be living in a box in a very literal way. Let's listen to Bowie, shall we? Listen to Russell Brand on Six Music, me with Matt Morgan and Cocker Trevor Locker. G's here, our poet laureate. He's going to be judging later a poem competition, right? He's confused. We ain't told him, right? There's this poem book you can read, written by comedians to raise money for the homeless. Tim Key's poems seem to be the best so far. We've
Yeah,
been
brilliant.
reading them.
Tim
Well,
Key,
properly
what a
funny.
poet.
So, like, oh, Trevor, turn your phone off. Eat your fudge, right? So G will be judging that competition a bit later. You've got to say, does Matt and Trev think it should be a haiku, because they think that will mean you write short poems. I think just write a short poem. It could be a limerick. Trevor, turn your phone off! Eat your fudge, Trev! And Trevor, so yeah, it's raise money for the homeless. G will be judging it. Send us your haikus and short poems in that. And Trevor will be in, for the rest of the show, Trevor will be conducting his snide remarks and comments from in a box, which we've brought into the studio. How do you feel about that, Trevor?
I
being
shall
in
not
a box?
go into the box.
You are going in that
Get
box.
in that box.
Get in your box, Trev!
Get in there, Trev.
Trevor, get in your box!
Why?
How ironic, Trev.
You
that
brought a cardboard
Trevor,
box into the
how
studio.
ironic that you, who have so long chided the homeless, now yourself live inside a box.
Yes.
Perhaps now, Trevor, when you're in the bull ring in Waterloo, you won't walk past homeless gentlemen, tramps, gentlemen of the road, flipping them arrogantly a farthing, saying, this is an antiquated currency, buy yourself some antiquated soup. You now will know what it is to be homeless. The final irony.
He kicks their hats.
He kicks their hats.
Up the street.
He goes, yeah, I'll give you 50p, but I'm going to be playing a bit of what I call foot hat or hat ball. And then he runs off kicking their hat.
I did that
giggling to
once,
himself.
and it was clearly a joke, and he understood. And I bought
Trevor,
him a
why are
cup
you
of-
not in your box? Get in your box!
Get in your
Trevor.
box! Why?
Get in your box!
Why have you gone to the trouble of getting me a
Make
box?
him get in there, Matthew. Physically put him in a box. He's been lifted up. He's been forced into a box. Don't break it. Mark, who constructed the box, is proud of his box.
in there, Trevor.
Get right in the box,
Down.
Trevor. I don't want to see your face. Be within the box. Put the lid on the box. Right, Trevor is now in a hexagonal box that we've constructed. His microphone, that is the noise, is the sound of his microphone being put in the box. Trevor, slayer of homeless people, kicker of their hats, is now himself in a box. Trevor, if you want a wee or any other form of micturation or defecation, you will do it in the box.
I will do it in the box, and then you'll be sorry.
I will not be sorry. Trevor, your box
You'll have to
stinks.
muck me out.
What? I'm not mucking out his box. Matthew.
I'm for life, not just for Christmas.
You
You've
aren't
got
even
me.
for Christmas. You've got nothing to do with the legend
The
of
most
Christ.
selfish thing is he's taken up the whole side of the studio with his box.
Oh, Trevor, do you have to consume, like some real estate merchant, the entire left side of the studio, the entire left flank, one of the most beloved parts of the studio, with your selfish box?
You are a perverted, kinky little
Get
man.
in your box! Stay in there!
They're kicking the box now. You can, that's what.
People will kick your box, Trevor.
I'll let the listeners judge you two. Oh,
Do you like it in your box, Trev?
I do, because I don't have to see your dirty little face.
Trevor.
Trevor, you're not even allowed an air hole.
Trevor, and if I so much as hear a zip moving in that box, I will come down on you so hard, Locke.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time, would it? Let's be honest.
Trevor, since you've been in that box, you've become unbearable. Matt, he thinks of that box as his principality. He thinks of himself as Lord of the Box in there, doesn't he?
I'm under house arrest, and I'm conducting a campaign. If you can hear
You're
me,
not Pinochet,
come down
Trev.
to this Westland house in Gildea Street and picket for my release.
Come down
I am
to it.
imprisoned against my
What's your
will.
idea? Shut up, Trevor.
Trev.
You're in your box for a reason.
Please,
It's a
if
punishment.
you can hear me.
Trev, do you
If
want to play a game?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
let's play a game.
All right.
This is the game.
Okay.
A pen is going to jab through the box. Try and guess where.
Pen jab game, it's super
Please.
pen game, super pen jab, jab the pen. There, Trev,
You can hear that. I'm in danger. I'm in genuine danger of being injured here.
Right,
If
okay,
you
come down to Gildea Street, Western House.
Please
If you want to
pick it
join in with our radio
for
show,
my
you must simply say the code
release.
word, Cookie Locky in a boxy! And then you can come and see Trevor in his box.
Oh, no,
Cookie
bring
Locky in a
food,
boxy!
water,
He put him out the
and a
street
chemical
in there.
Trevor, we
toilets.
will put you out in the street like the homeless people that you have so long chided. How ironic that the hunter has become the hunted. That you, Matthew, and not you, Matthew, you've been a joy to the homeless. You and I have often helped them. But you, Trevor, who have ridiculed a bit. Trevor, what is going on
I
in that
have
box?
written a haiku for the homeless that's been published in that book.
Your haiku, Trevor, one load in a wonderful tome of English comics poetry, and in fact, our poets from around the world. interesting little match.
What position in that box?
I'm in the
Fetal.
fetal position.
Of course he's fetal. Of course he is.
No,
He's
I'm lying on my
reverted
back
to
with my
childhood,
legs in
really.
there like a little